Right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, taught me this truth, taught us this truth. Shalom to the elect. 144,000 first and foremost, pushing this truth in all sincerity in the four quarters of the earth. I'm your brother Tabayi Yakona coming at you with a quick lesson, Lord willing, it's edifying. Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? It's Yahweh Shai speaking. Yahweh Shai in these latter days is coming to bring division, in the form of, in many, many forms, amongst the people, families, genders, politics, socioeconomic classes, just plagues in the earth, which is what we're seeing, which is what this lesson is focused on. Because you see that over there on the West Coast, LA is pretty much on fire, man. That whole area is on fire. Last time I saw it was like 11,000 acres on fire, man. And that was just in a couple of days. This is 2025. It already started off with mass killings, and now it's just more plagues, because this weather has already been on another level, so to speak. Out of sorts, out of ordinary. So, there's already, before the Lord actually comes to destroy Babylon the Great, which is America, with with his form of fire, which is concentrated lasers, by the chariots. The Lord's going to come on a big fathership to redeem the elect, which means to save the elect. When the Christians talk about salvation, I'm saved in the blood of, Jesus. They don't know what they're talking about. Salvation is being saved or redeemed from the said perils, from destruction, which is coming upon the earth as we speak. All right. You got wars and rumors of wars. Scriptures speak about that. So that's another part of fire on the earth already being kindled. Okay. Let's just get into a little bit of the plagues. This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right, so that child is I guess we can liken that to Yahweh Shai, coming to bring the ultimate plague upon the earth, again through the concentrated laser fires, also the ICBM missiles. We'll get into that as well. ICBM missile nuclear destruction by way of the nations hating that whore that rides the beast back, the whore being America, the beast being NATO and the EU. But even before Yahweh Shai comes, again, as it's written in Luke 12 and 49, what will I if it already be kindled. So it's already going to be, devastation in the earth before the ultimate climax, as it's written in Revelation 18. And I'll grab it real quick. 18 in verse in verse 2. We'll start at 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. This would have to be Yahweh Shai. It says, and because he's a chief angel. All right. It says, verse 2, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right. So, Babylon the Great, America, is going to be destroyed ultimately, but leading up to that point is going to be plagues, overcoming this place and other portions of the world. Back to 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter and the 39th verse, it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. You see that? Scriptures speak about this being just the beginning of sorrows. Let me grab that real quick, man. This is just the beginning. Speak about this being a day like no other, a time like which has never been. This is Mark chapter 13 and verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. We see that nation against nation. We see that in the Levant region, which is that so-called Middle East region. You got this, the state of Israel and Gaza and the Palestinians, and eventually, the least of the flock, Amalek, which occupies that state, our land, Israel, which is really desolate right now. This is why they got to do all kinds of scientific BS to try to make it produce something. But in the kingdom, it's going to produce, because the right occupants aren't in there. It's Amalek, the chief, one of the chief tribes, if not the head of Esau, Edom, the Edomites. Starting with their elite bankers, which most of them are Amalekites as well. But anyways, they're going to draw in the kings of the earth into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment, to be judged by the Lord. Man, they're going to be consumed with their own nuclear fire, and as well lasers from the chariots as well. And the scriptures speak about who is this that comes from Basra with dyed garments. Man, that's talking about Yahweh Shai coming from the east, coming here to the west to redeem his elect out of Babylon the Great. So even before that fathership comes here to America, Babylon the Great, to redeem the elect, which means to save, in a fathership, beam them up, even before that happens, the ships are going to be over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat, judging the kings of the earth, which means destroying with fire. Okay, but let's get to it says Salakia, Mark 13 and verse 8. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. You see? And over there in LA, in California, it's trouble. Who knows what that's going to lead to, man? It's probably going to lead to famine. Price is going to be through the roof. They're already through the roof over there in California. You know, not to mention, you know, the inflation that's happening throughout the whole nation or the so-called nation, this great city, America, Babylon the Great. All right. This is let's go back to Luke 12:50. It says, "But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished." Yeah, Yahweh Shai was, you know, he was catching hell. Verse 51, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division." Again, you know, that's another part of the plagues, man. Part of this place being you know, put in a mournful, sorrowful position and troubled. You know, that division of the people. Scriptures speak about the love of many shall wax cold. Let's grab Isaiah 66 and verse 15. It says, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." Right? So that's going to be the cherry on top fire. You know, there's fire going on over there in California, but the cherry on top fire is going to be through Yahweh Shai and the chariots, as well as the ICBM missiles, man, made for destruction. You can go to Joel, the 2nd chapter, and read down from the top to, you know, about the 8th or the 9th verse to get more on that. But Lord willing, I was edifying, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachak Shalom.